it's Chinere here. So guys, today I have a story time. I know I haven't done one of those in a while, but you know, girls in the mood, a little bit more settled. So yeah, so before I start the story time, you guys already know how I do. I'm very thorough. I talk about all the details so that, you know, there's not a lot of questions asked, not a lot of assumptions or jumping to conclusions. Okay, so in no way am I trying to make this a lighthearted thing or make fun of it, but it's so uncomfortable. I don't even really know how to go about it, and it's kind of embarrassing, honestly, now that I'm older and this happened. I'm like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that people actually do this to people. But with my dating experience, at this point, I'm not really surprised, and this is why I'm single, guys, to be honest with you. I know I'm a little bit crazy, but the things that have happened to me, people honestly don't even believe it. And yeah, I haven't really been dating because I'm just trying to avoid all this stuff. And I know that, like, trying to, like, push myself away from people isn't gonna help, you know, but for right now, that's the best solution I can think of. Okay, now back in 2012, 2013, I used to work at Macy's in the Galleria in Houston. I worked at the newer one, the one upstairs, not the old one that they already demolished or whatever. But yeah, you know, on my lunch breaks, if they were long enough, like an hour, I would walk down to the food court and I would get me something to eat. So this day was no different. And you guys notice that a lot of my weird stories about these guys happened when I was working at Macy's, because there are thousands of people that come through the mall every single day. So if you're just walking, you're bound to meet somebody. And I would always meet these guys when I was walking around on break. Never when I was getting off, because sometimes I worked till 11 and it was the holiday time. But this was like midday. People are coming back from work. People are getting off of work. You know, whatever. I don't know where this guy came from. But anyway, I was sitting down the stairs and I was eating some food. So, you know, I get up from eating food, and as I'm walking to the escalator to go upstairs, a guy approaches me. That kind of scared me a little bit when he approached me, because, you know, it's kind of like, you know. And he said, "Hi, you know, I didn't mean to scare you. My name is blah, 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 and I've been watching you from afar." Stop right there. I don't like when people do that to me. I don't like that when anybody does that to me. Like, boy, girl, anybody. Don't tell me that you've been watching me. Because number one, I'm an awkward person. I'm a weird eater. So it's like, when you've been telling me that you've been sitting there the whole time, you literally waited for me to get up and finish and go upstairs, and you've been watching me. That creeps me out. But people like that. They like to know that they've been stared at. They like to know that somebody's been watching them. You know, he watched me from across the room, and he waited till I got up. That does not sound romantic to me. That sounds fucking creepy. Anyway, not trying to digress, but we started talking. Now, at first I was not interested in him. Now, I had just literally gotten out of a bad relationship with a Nigerian. This guy was a Nigerian guy, everyone. Listen, I really try not to make them, like, it's not that I try to make them look bad, it's just that they just so happen to be a Nigerian in all of my bad dating stories. And that's just what it is. Like, because typically people will ask me during the story, like, "Oh, is this a white guy? Is this a blah, blah?" Because the stories are so outrageous. They ask me that, and I'm like, "No, he was Nigerian. He was a black guy." So anyway, that's just what this guy was. First, I was not interested. I was like, I'm not trying to date another spoiled. He thinks that I'm supposed to worship the ground that he walks on, a non-understanding, judgmental. I'm just not trying to deal with that. And he was not really, like, because I was kind of like turning him down, he started walking with me, and he started becoming persistent, like a lot of them do. He starts following me, and he's like, you know, he starts telling me a little bit about himself. And after that, I was like, okay, you know, I guess I could give you my number. He had bought his own car. It wasn't like, you know, an expensive car that he got out of some auction that his parents bought him, and now he thinks he's his shit. You know, he bought his own car. He had graduated from college, and he says that he could help me because he's a math tutor or whatever. So anyway, we started talking. I gave him my number, blah. A lot of times, if I give a guy a hard enough time, they end up not calling me because they think I'm too high maintenance. That's cool. But he ended up calling me. So he calls me, and to give you guys kind of an idea of what he's like, so if my voice is weird, he talks like this. "Hi, you know, my name is da. That's the way he talks. So me and him, we talked for about a month. He kept asking me to come over. Like most of my stories, I don't really like guys coming over to my house when I first meet them. I like to talk to them a little bit. Then you can come over. Once again, he was very persistent. You know, he would call me every day, and then one day he called me, and, you know, we were really talking because I had kind of been putting him off just a little bit. And he told me a lot about himself. He had told me that his parents had passed away and that he had really been struggling and trying to get things together. It was just totally different than any story I had heard from any other guys. It was just, you know, it wasn't like a spoiled kid story where it's like I have to compete and I need to be this perfect girl. It was just like, you know, I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're doing and I respect it, and I love that about him. So finally, after like a month and something of talking, I said, oh yeah, I mean, it's cool if you come over. He had been asking me, can you come over? I told him, you know, you can come over for a little bit. The first time that he came over, it was getting too late at night, and I don't like guys at my house too late. So I was like, okay, you know, it's getting like 8:30. I like to have time to myself. It's time for you to go home, you know, especially if I'm not really feeling you like that. It's like, you know, you need to go home. So, you know, he left, and, you know, I was nice about it, everything. He went home. Then the second time he came over, a week and a half later, we were talking again. Everything was cool, and he said, okay, well, yeah, can I stay tonight? Do you mind if I sleep over here? I don't know how we went about it, but somehow the boy ended up sleeping over at the house, okay? Before he did, you know, I made it very clear. I said, listen, I am not trying to have sex with you. I am not interested at all. I told him this, and this is how I talk to men. I literally just tell them, because they seem to think that there's something like if we say no that it means yes, but I'm a very straightforward person if you get to know me, and if I say no, I mean no. I do not want your ass. So maybe he thought the no meant yes, but anyway, he spent the night. So guys, this is when things get creepy. Talking, I'm in my sheet. I gave him his own sheet or whatever, and you know, we're sleeping. I'm not even, you know, that spoon thing that you do when you're like turned around but you got that ass like backed up like that? That was not me. I was just sleeping on my back, and I rarely ever even sleep like that. Anyway, I'm not even saying all this to say, oh, you know, well, you deserve it even if you were spooning. You deserve. No, I'm not like that. I'm just giving you guys details. So I'm sleeping, the usual. I'm dreaming a little bit. I don't remember what I'm dreaming about. And I'm sleeping, and I don't know, something wasn't right. Like, I'm dreaming about something, but I'm like moving. Like, the dream is real. Now, my dreams are real all the time. I talked about this, guys, and my dreams are very real. But it got to the point where, like, I started to kind of like black out of the dream. Like, you know, when you're waking up out of the dream, you know, it's time for you to wake up at 7 o'clock. The dream is starting to disappear. That's what was happening to me, only I was still sleepy, and I didn't have to pee or nothing. But I'm waking up out of the dream, out of my body, and I feel something on my body. Now, I feel something on my chest. It was just moving around on my chest, and you guys can only imagine, and it was only on one side. I woke up, I look around, I look down, and he is sucking on my titty. He is sucking on my nipple, sucking. And I just gasped, like, I was like, what the hell are you doing on my right titty, y'all? And he was like, what? I'm just like, I'm in shock, I'm in horror. I'm just like this has never happened to me before. He's like, And I said, get the fuck off me. And I pushed his ass out of the way, like I pushed him in the face, and he was like, what? Like, what is this? And I said, you tell me, what the fuck are you doing? And I punched him in the face. I'm not even kidding, and he was in shock. I told him to get the fuck out of my bed. I said, get the fuck out of my bed. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't kick people out of my bed like that, but if you're not good in it, you gotta go. Whether you're sleeping or whatever, you have to go. He was in shock. Like, he was honestly in shock. And he said, he was like, wow, you hit me. And I said, yes, you touched me. I did not give you permission to put your hands on me, okay? Do not do that. And I specifically said, I don't want to have sex with you. I said this. I don't care if I'm laying next to you. I don't care if I'm naked. If I said no, that means that don't touch my fucking body. Like, don't touch me. I said that. He didn't get it. So he gets up and he's like, you know, he was dating this Nigerian girl. She was a nurse, and the last time he laid with somebody, he started giving me this spiel about when he laid with her and she was naked and he didn't try anything with her, that he wasn't a man, and she told him that. I said, start packing your shit, and I said, I'm not her. you need to identify women with each person, and you need to not treat us all like we're the same, okay? If she doesn't think you're a man, that's her. She wants somebody aggressive. You are not an aggressive person, and guys, he's not. So for you to violate me while I was sleeping and start sucking on my body, who knows what else the hell he would have done if I wouldn't have woken up out of my deep sleep. Because he had been doing it for a while. And his, like, and mind y'all, in the beginning, his pants were on. He had on his little ugly underwear, y'all. He wasn't even wearing boxers. He was wearing like these white underwear. It wasn't even briefs. It was just this, it was just all a hot mess. And I don't even care about underwear, but at that moment, I was thinking about it. Okay, and I cared. For the first time in my life, what kind of underwear a man was wearing. He left the house. I slammed the door. I told him, fuck you. Okay? Now, I don't know what happened, but we talked again. We talked. And I don't remember what it was for, but he was like, you know, you threw me out like I was trash. And I told him that you were trash because you violated me. The crazy thing about this all is that him even saying something like that, guys, it shows that he, honestly, after a year, we hadn't spoken for like a year maybe, he honestly believes that he was the victim out of all of this because I threw him out. He doesn't think that him doing that to me was wrong. He thinks that I'm just the bitch that threw him out. He still, because if it was, he would have really like apologized and he would have been like, you know, whatever. But no, I'm just the girl who threw him out. I'm just the mean person that threw him out. That's it. He doesn't think he was wrong at all. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of these men, because as women, we're constantly told to like protect ourselves. That's all we're being taught. But there is no course on men like how to treat people just in general. Like, you know, you're sending girls off to college to protect ourselves, you know, pepper spray, all this stuff. But there are no lessons to men or people in general. I don't care who comes in here, whoever, and thinks, you know, blah, blah. No, it's serious though. You know, they're not being taught, hey, you know what, rape isn't okay. You should really like ask her. You're taught to think that, oh, we already know this stuff. A lot of these guys don't know that. They honestly don't think they're doing anything wrong, and they've been doing it to women a lot, and then finally somebody's like, no, that's not okay. And when somebody does say it's not okay, especially in the manner that it happens, you're just being a bitch. You know, what you say doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, that's what happened to me. That was, I don't even want to say anything because it sounds funny, but it's really not. And the sad thing is that, guys, this is not the first time that somebody has violated me while I was sleeping. And it's so crazy that I see other girls on YouTube telling stories about like them getting raped while they were sleeping, and just waking up to all kinds of things in the middle of the night. It's like, is it even safe to sleep anymore? Like, what the fuck is going on here, you know? But anyway, that's my one of very many stories of violation, just stupidity, and just not caring and lack of respect that I've just think just happened in a relationship. And people can try to justify whatever. I'm not gonna listen to you. I never will. But anyway, guys, I love you. That's my story time for today, and I will talk to you later. Love ya. Bye.